Hi children, welcome to our English class. I am Shysea, Faculty of English, taking English class for 6th standard. Today we are going to take a new unit, Still We Rise. Unit 2, Still We Rise. The theme of this unit is women empowerment. See, women empowerment is the process of empowering the women, strengthening women. It's about equipping or allowing women to take life-determining decisions throughout the problems in our society. Women's standards can be raised through good education and increasing the standard of living. Women empowerment can be achieved, can be attained by grabbing the opportunities without any restrictions or any limitations such as education, professions or lifestyle. In earlier days, women were not allowed to take their own decision. Now the situation has changed. Women have equal rights as that of men. So our unit's theme is women empowerment. There are many successful women in our world. They have overcome many difficulties in their life and they achieve this position right now. Today we are taking a new lesson from this unit, Cinderella. You might have read this story, you might have seen this movie. See, have you ever imagined you are doing all the works at home? Can you ever imagine? We are studying about such a girl here. Before moving to the lesson, let's read a newspaper report. It has been given in your textbook. 10-year-old girl dies of torture by stepmother. Lucknow, a 10-year-old girl surrendered to death at the Medical College Hospital here on Thursday on being tortured by her stepmother. According to the police, the deceased is Vellakada, daughter of Arvind, Indiranagar, Lucknow. Vellakada was a student of class 6th of Government High School at Indiranagar. She was admitted with serious injuries to a hospital in the city around 6 p.m. on Thursday. The doctors who found the parents' explanation unsatisfactory informed the police. Later, she was shifted to the Medical College Hospital where she died around 11 p.m. Preliminary medical reports confirmed that the girl had undergone extreme physical torture which resulted in her death. There were several marks on her body. Local residents said that they had informed childline activists about the incident. What's the news report about? About the death of a 10-year-old girl. How she died? Because of the torture by her stepmother. Yes, what was she doing? She was a student. What was her age? 10 years. And where did he die? She died at the Medical College Hospital, Lucknow. Okay, have you come across such incidents in your life? No, you will never face such incidents in your life. But in your locality, have you seen those kinds of incidents? If you have happened to see these incidents, you should inform Child Helpline or child activists. You know the number? If you don't know the number, I'll tell you 1098. You should inform Child Helpline Center itself. Okay. Then today we are moving to learn about a girl, Cinderella. Cinderella was also tortured by her stepmother and stepsisters. Here, you know her real name, Cinderella's real name? Her name was Ella. Her name was Ella. Okay, then let's move to our story. Ella lived with her father and mother. They lived very happily. They had a beautiful life. But her mother fell sick, and when she knew that she was going to die, she called her only daughter, Ella, and advised her to be pious and good always. And she blessed her also. And when she died, Ella obeyed words of her mother, and then she lived as pious and good always. Okay, then do you know the meaning of pious? Pious means having or showing a deep respect for God and religion. Okay, she was really pious and good. Then several years later, her father married again. That new wife was very proud and unkind. That woman came to her house with her 2 daughters. They were so cruel and so unkind to her. They treated Ella like a kitchen maid. You know the meaning of maid? Maid is a female servant. And then she had to do all the work at home. She had to wake up early in the morning, make fire, cook food, draw water, then wash clothes, all the jobs, all the works she had to do from home. From morning to evening, she was forced to work there. Then she had no bed to lie upon, so she had to take rest on the hearth among the cinders. Do you know the meaning of hearth? Hearth is a brick or stone lined fireplace used for heating the room. Hearth is a brick or stone lined fireplace used for heating the room. This is the hearth. Okay, so she had to sleep amongst the cinders. So she looked always dirty and dusty. So her stepsisters named her Cinderella. See, then the magic begins. Then the prince of that country invited all the young girls of that country to the ball. What was the plan of that ball? The plan was to choose a suitable bride. Okay. Then stepsisters were so happy because they had plenty of dresses to wear, and then they had a lot of ornaments to wear, and then they were so happy and they were so delighted. Delighted means extremely happy. That time Cinderella begged them to take her along with them, but they said, "You can go for the ball if a beggar hold a ball." See, she was so sad, and they said, "Again, you are coming for the ball in this dirty dress. Okay, you don't have nice dress to wear. Then how should you come with us?" Okay, she couldn't control her tears. Cinderella cried bitterly, and then she thought, "If my mother had alive, I would have gone for the ball." Okay, then she cried bitterly, and then she was sitting like that. She heard a voice. She heard a voice from the fairy queen. "I am the queen of fairies. You will certainly go to the ball." When she looked at her, she saw a fairy queen standing in front of her, and then fairy queen consoled her, and she asked her to bring pumpkin. She took the pumpkin and she brought it to her, and then fairy queen waved her wand like this, magic wand. Then what happened? That pumpkin changed into a red couch. Okay, then Cinderella was asked to bring the mouse trap, and she brought the mouse trap. 6 mice were there. The fairy queen changed this 6 mice into 6 white horses. These 6 mice changed into 6 white horses. And then Cinderella was asked to bring lizards. She brought the lizards, then the fairy queen changed them into 6 footmen. The fairy queen changed these lizards into footmen. See what happened to Pumpkin? Pumpkin changed into a red coach and mice changed into white horses and lizards changed into footmen. But Cinderella was not happy. She looked at her dress. It was rags. Then Fairy Queen touched her magic wand on her dress. Then what happened? It changed into beautiful cloth of silk and diamonds. Gold and silk. There were diamonds on it. Okay. She wore a pair of glass shoes also. She was so happy. Cinderella was so happy. But the Fairy Queen warned her, you have to reach home before 12. The magic will end at 12 p.m. Cinderella went to the ball and everyone was happy to see her. Everyone surprised. What a beautiful girl. What a pretty girl she is. Okay, everyone looked at her and surprised. Her stepsisters couldn't recognize her. Then the prince noticed her and he danced only with her. Okay, then before 12 o'clock she reminded the words of Fairy Queen. She went back to home and when she reached home, she directly go to see the Fairy Queen and she expressed her gratitude, and at the same time she expressed all the things that had happened in that ball, and then she expressed her wish to go for the next day also. Prince had already invited her. Okay, then next day also she went. Next day also she went in beautiful dress. Okay, Prince was so happy. He danced with her and she was also enjoying in the party. That time she forgot about the time. She was not aware of the time. Then what happened? She forgot about the time. Then what happened? When the clock struck 12, she remembered the words of Fairy Queen. She jumped off and ran. Okay, in a hurry, she left one of her shoes in the ballroom. She reached home, but Prince was so sad. He wanted to know the girl who had danced with him. Okay, then he was really worried. That time one of the messengers took that glass shoe which had been left by Cinderella. Then when the prince got that glass shoe, he was so happy and he made an announcement. He would visit every home of that country in order to find out the lady who danced with him last night. Okay, stepsisters were so happy because they had pretty feet. Then Prince started to visit every home. At last he reached Cinderella's home. The eldest stepsister came forward and he wanted to try on that shoe first. He went to the room to try on that shoe. That time she found that her toe is too big. And then her mother asked her to cut off that toe. She followed the instruction of her mother and then she cut off her toe. Then what happened? Anyway, she wore that shoe and she went down to the prince. She went down to the prince, and when prince saw her feet, he cried, "See, blood is flowing there. This is not my bride," he said. Then second sister came forward and then she tried on that shoe. That time her heel was so large. Okay, so mother said, okay, cut off that heel. when you become a queen, you will never have to go on foot. Then she cut off the part of the heel, then she wore that shoe, and then she went down to the prince. Prince saw this feet and he cried bitterly, "No, this is not my bride. Okay, this is nude suit for you. Okay, and then this shoe is too short." Okay, and then he cried very bitterly and he so scolded angrily. That time Cinderella came and Cinderella asked, "Let me try this place." That time Prince allowed. Prince said, "I have seen you somewhere else." That time stepsisters scolded her, "Why, you dirty creature, you came here? No need to come here." Okay, but Prince allowed her to wear that, to try that shoe. She wore that shoe that was perfect match for her. Then Fairy Queen appeared there. Fairy Queen touched on her dress. That time she became a beautiful princess. Okay, with she was wearing the beautiful clothes of gold and silk. Okay, and then she took another glass shoe from her pocket and then she wore that one also. Prince was so happy and they married and they lived happily thereafter. Okay, then Cinderella pardoned her mother, her stepmother and her stepsisters, and they lived happily together. Okay, Cinderella's sympathetic attitude can be seen here. Okay, now you please read the text from home. Let's wind up the class right now. Thank you. We will meet in the next class. Bye.